Hey there, my name is David Bradley. I'm the author of this book right here, How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. In today's video, I wanted to go over with you some things like things I wish I'd have thought of or things I wish I'd have known before I actually stopped smoking. I had my last cigarette in May of 2002, so that's been how long? 22 years since I had one of those things. Still miss it though. Still miss it sometimes. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about, hey, I should probably stop, and this isn't just smoking cigarettes, by the way. If you're vaping and maybe you stop smoking cigarettes and you're vaping, now you want to get off of that, or whatever it is you're smoking, or any habits you're trying to kick, anything you'd like to just stop doing, these 3 tips I'm about to give you will be incredibly helpful as you move into the process. Maybe you're still smoking cigarettes right now, but you know you're going to quit at some point. You know you're going to stop. You just haven't started that yet. And maybe you've tried. Maybe you've tried a few times. I know I did. I tried several times with a lot of different things that just didn't quite work. So I'm going to give you 3 tips right now that you can actually plug into, use, leverage to help get your mind right as you approach the big day. And that's actually the first tip. Tip number 1 is just recognize there is no right time to stop smoking. The reason I started stopping was I had an impacted wisdom tooth and then I got that sucker yanked out, and then the story's in the book about why, but I wind up with a dry socket, and the dentist said, hey, listen, if you want this to heal fast, you can't just don't have a cigarette for the next 3 days. And I'm like, okay, I can go 3 days without a cigarette, sure, right? But what did that actually turn out to be? 3 days of absolute torture, living hell, suffering through the withdrawals. When I got to the day 3, I'm like, let's see what happens on day 4. Let's go another day. Let's go another 5 day. Let's go another week. Next thing I knew is 2 weeks into this thing, and I hadn't had a cigarette. And again, this was not easy. It was grueling. It was torturous. But you know what happened? I became empowered, and I realized that I could have done that anytime I wanted. Just simply don't have a cigarette for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just worry about the next 5, 10, 15 minutes in the beginning. And for me at the very beginning, it was a minute by minute decision to just not have one right now. But after 3 days, it started to get just a little easier, just a little bit more manageable. And I grinded it out. And so that leads me to tip number 2. So tip number 1, there's no right time, period. Actually, there's one right time. You know what time that is? Now. Right now is the right time. Okay, what's tip number 2? You have to do this for a reason bigger than you, period. Check it out. If you loved yourself enough, you'd have quit already. Okay? If you loved yourself enough, you'd have stopped already. So you got to find a purpose bigger than you. So my main motivating factor right there is get this impacted or dry socket to heal as quickly as humanly possible. But that gets me past not even the first 3 hours. 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, right? That gets me to there. Now what? Why am I doing this? Okay. I had a lot of motivation behind this in addition to that had nothing to do with me. One of which was after September 11th, I realized how fragile life is, and I also recognized that I was slowly committing a passive-aggressive form of suicide, and I wanted to live a long, fruitful life with the girl of my dreams who I had just met a couple years prior. Why would I want to check out early, right? I want to spend as much time with her as I possibly can and enjoy every single minute, not getting winded, just trying to go from the chair to the bathroom. So your reason is yours. But you got to find a reason significantly bigger than you. This could be somebody that you love. This could be something you're trying to accomplish in life. This could just be, I also didn't want to turn 30 and still be a smoker. Right? So you got to find a purpose significantly bigger than you, because at the point I just made a second ago, if you loved yourself enough, you'd have done it already. So you need to do it for something bigger, and you got to do it for something bigger than you. Third thing, and this one here, again, these are 3 tips that I tripped into and kind of used, but if I'd have had some concrete going into it, this would have been super duper helpful. If you aren't already, you need to start a breathing practice and a dedicated exercise routine. Okay, we're already breathing smoke. Right? We're doing that, okay? I'm talking about a breathing practice that does not involve weird chemicals going into our lungs. Just natural, good, fresh air. Could be anything you want. You can keep it as simple as just Mr. Miyagi style breathing. In through nose, out through mouth. You want to do some Wim Hof action? You want to do box breathing like they do, like snipers do, Navy SEALs do this. Any kind of breathing practice that you want. I just posted one a couple days ago. It's the 4 7-8 method, right? So anything you want to do, breath work, get back to the breath, return to the breath. It's life. Your breath is life. And you want to live long, and you want to start living better, and you want to reclaim your lung capacity, start breathing. Just the breath. I can't tell you how valuable it is. It also releases all kinds of feel-good chemicals when you do it. So that's going to really help with withdrawals, especially days 2. Day 2 is a bitch, so just get ready for that. And then day 3, you can get through it though. Breathe. And then exercise. Again, this is about reclaiming your lung capacity. You can work yourself up to these things. I actually passed the United States Secret Service snatch test, which is you snatch a kettlebell overhead 200 times in 10 minutes. You cannot do that and smoke cigarettes. You can't. Sorry. So you need to find some exercise that you can do where you can actually start reclaiming your lung capacity. And before you start saying, I'm not in good enough condition, it doesn't matter. There are no excuses to this. Any body in any physical condition can find a breathing practice that they can follow and do some form of exercise. Curl a soup can if that's all you can do. I don't care. But what I do care about is you starting a breathing practice that you can commit to and do every single day, first and foremost, and secondly, get on some kind of exercise routine so you can start reclaiming your lung capacity. And those are the 3 tips. Now listen, if you found those helpful, there's all kinds of tips and tricks and hints and mindset. You're gonna have to rewire your brain. Nicotine has rewired your brain up to this point. So you're gonna need to rewire it. You're gonna have to unwind some stuff and get it back in there. So how do you do that? The plan, the strategy, the ideas, the mindsets, what you need to get your head right, because this is all mental. Especially after day 3, day 4, the nicotine's out of your system. The rest, it's all up here. So you got to get your mind right so you can stop, stay that way. That's the bonus right here, okay? Stop trying to quit and just start stopping. Okay, more on that in chapter 1. And if you'd like a free copy of chapter 1, go to stopdon'tquit.com. When you get to stopdon'tquit.com, you can actually get yourself a copy of the book. It's on Amazon. It's also on Audible, okay? Or stopdon'tquit.com/chapter 1, the number 1, chapter 1, and you can actually get a free audio sample of chapter 1 so you can see if you like what you hear and you want to actually make a purchase, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Stopdon'tquit.com is the website. Stopdon'tquit.com/chapter 1 for a free chapter 1. Thank you for watching. Throw a comment down below. Let me know what you think.